What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at Mega Manectric EX. We're going to look at my take on a deck list. I basically found a pretty cool list from Japan, tweaked a couple of cards. The idea was good. I've played 0 games with it, but you guys can take this as your base list. If you want to play Mega Manectric, try it out. It is a 3 prize behemoth. If you guys enjoyed this content, just hit that subscribe button. Just hit that like button. That's all you have to do. Just keep coming on back. I'll keep making nice old deck lists for you guys as a competitive Pokemon TCG player who has seen the World Championships multiple times. My name is Rahul. Let's jump right into it. This is the list. If you guys are yoinking it, go ahead and yoink it for free. Get out of here. But if you want to stick around, I would appreciate you guys doing it. So Mega Man actually just a ton of damage. And we have 4 electric in the deck here, just because it's the base. I have a really cool concept with this. It's just we're going to do only Mega Man Electric. I feel like the deck is big enough to be beefy enough on its own. We have 330 HP stage 1 lightning type Pokemon that has the Flash Ray attack for 120 damage during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. So in the early game, this Mega Manectric can kind of survive the early game from these like big beaters. Maybe before the things evolve in, so you can take a couple of prize cards against Raging Bolt. You're chilling against Clefairy, some of these other attackers that could threaten you. We're okay. Monkey Door is a little bit of a problem because it does confuse us, but besides that, we're fine. Riot Blaster does 200 plus 130 if we discard all the energy. Works perfect. Now I've got a 3 magnets online. We have one of the Magnemites that accelerates energy from our discard pile, and 2 with 70 HP, kind of by design, just because I think this card could be pretty good in the off chance that we need to attack with it, and we have 3 of the other Magneton. Now, Overvolt Discharge basically says get 3 basic energy cards from your discard pile and attach them to your lightning Pokemon any way you like, and this Pokemon is knocked out and your opponent gets a prize card. Now, this discards all energy, but Mega Manectric has free retreat, so you can set up 2 or 3 Mega Manectric pretty easily. As long as an electric doesn't get knocked out, you can pop 2 Magnetons per game, accelerating 3 energies very quickly, meaning that you get 2 Riot Blasters to work with almost instantaneously in the game. So you can Flash Ray, take a prize card, you can even Riot Blaster for 200 and not even discard energy, take prize card, and then you can go Riot Blaster, discard, take 2, Riot Blaster, discard, take 2, game is over. Now, the rest of the deck is pretty simple. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Poffin, just for our consistency. Everything in our deck, basic-wise, has less than 70 HP for basics. We need to get these Manectrics on the board as quickly as possible. We need to start attacking as quickly as possible. We need 4 Ultra Balls to find our Evolution Pokemon. Very difficult to find those, actually, in an aggressive deck. We're going to be discarding a lot of cards. If you guys are taking a look at the list, a lot of cards are going to hit the discard, and a lot of discards are going to do it fast. We have 4 copies of Pokegear because we have a lot of supporters, but we need to find specific supporters at certain points in the game. And if we don't find those specific supporters, we can be in a lot of trouble. We have 1 copy of Night Stretcher just because if prizing is kind of bad, we might need to be able to recycle a piece, get a lightning back, something like that. Besides that, we don't really need to bring lightning energies back from our discard. And as long as like our prizing isn't super bad, like let's just say we prize double Magneton and have to discard 1 early, the Stretcher isn't really a useful card. It could be a Rod as well, but I think the ability to be able to grab something immediately and put it into play is really useful, especially with a deck like this, where you want to be able to kind of combo out and just get your big guy rolling here. 4 copies of Earthen Vessel because we do need to put energies in our discard. We do need to continuously attach energies. And if you are looking at the list right now, we don't have a lot of way to find anything else. Like if we're not playing Arvins, we're not playing it slow. We're just aggressively kind of hitting the ground and discarding everything that we own. Heroescape is the ace spec of choice here because I felt like if we make this Mega Manectric really, really, really beefy, we can't lose the game. What happens if we have this incredibly big behemoth barreling down for 200 minimum damage or 120 and it can't be touched by basics? Now becomes a 430 HP Pokemon that has the threat of being able to do 330 damage at any point it likes. In the meantime, you're doing at least a minimum of 200 and you're just, sitting there. You're like, hey, what are you going to do about this? You can't really do anything about this. So that's the idea behind Hero's Cape. Maybe Prime Catcher is a little bit better. Maybe Max Belt is a little bit better if you want to take out other Megas. But I think that this is a good ace spec right now with the way the deck is designed, and I'll take you guys there. We have 4 Research and 4 Carmine, just because the deck needs to have a pretty good turn 1. We need to find those Magnemites. We need to put those Electrics into play. So turn 2, we can go into Manectric, we can go into Magneton. It's an absolute necessity that this deck can't have a slow start. That's why there's no things like Mew or Fez in here, because we're not accounting for long games. We're accounting for a board that is perfect. We're accounting for a board where like we've popped 1 or 2 Magnetons, our board is just 2 Mega Manectrics, and that is the entire board. We have nothing else going for us. If one of our Manectrics goes down, our opponents are down to 1 prize card. We have 1 Manectric. It's our Manectric with a Hero's Cape up against the world in an ideal situation. And now the next supporter card is a really cool supporter card from the new set. And the idea behind this is that we're going to, like I just said, the 1 Manectric against the world strategy where we have this Acerola's Mischief supporter card. Ace Roll as Mischief, there's 4. We're not going to use 4 in a game, and we're going to discard a lot of pieces across the scope of the game. So using 1 or 2 actually probably can win you the game pretty reliably, but we still need to play a full grip of these because it's very difficult to find them. Maybe I'm incorrect by saying that we need 4 of this and 3 boss. It's probably maybe better the other way around, but I like this right now. Ace Roll as Mischief says you can only use this card if your opponent has 2 or 5 few prize cards remaining. We can dictate how many prize cards our opponent has remaining with Magneton. We can put them forcefully at 2 prize cards remaining. One Manectric goes down. Well, let's pop a Magneton. Let's get the ball rolling. Choose one of your Pokemon in play during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. This current format doesn't have any Pokemon that are non-EX Pokemon that actually do anything. Typhlosion is one of those few cards that can do something, but besides that, everything else in the format, Dragapult EX, Gardevoir EX. If you use Ace Roll as Mischief plus Flash Ray, Gardevoir can't even go into Drifloon and come up and hit you. Monkey can't even hit you. Like, there's so many pieces that can't do anything. Dragapult, Raging Bolt, all these decks that need these big attackers to actually do something can't do anything. So if we can chain a couple of Ace Roll as Mischief towards the end of the game, there's just no chance we can lose because we have this big guy, this big beefy Pokemon that just commands respect. And that's the idea behind the deck. Are you guys seeing the vision? I hope you are seeing the vision because this is so cool and I hope it works. We have 3 copies of Boss's Orders because a lot of the time we're just going to be smacking the active or using Ace Roll as Premonition or Mischief, sorry. So the boss doesn't actually get played a lot because we're not really like in the business of chasing down threats. There's really not that many threats to us as long as the Ace Rolls works. So we're not actually chasing down anything. We're just knocking out what we can. So the boss is mostly just a way to close out the game, being able to give us 2 prize cards in tandem with another 2 prize knockout. If that's the case, just speed up the course of the game if possible, more than anything else. We have 2 copies of Iono. I'm not entirely sure like if we need Iono. I was looking through all the supporter cards to see if there's a better supporter card to play, or a stadium maybe to even play that's just better in this slot. But it felt like Iono is still pretty good, especially like in the mid game when we go like Magneton Pop, power up a Manectric, maybe Iono our opponent to 1 or 2 cards, and then just take a knockout on the active. Put ourselves in a pretty good spot where like they don't get to build up their hand, they don't get to sit there continuously accelerate to their board. And we can kind of disrupt a little bit if we're just using Flash Ray or maybe even Riot Blastering for knockouts. Like we can still do stuff because we still have a 330 HP guy. Like it's not like we need to Ace Roll as Premonition or Mischief every time. We just have a guy. We have 2 copies of Jock because Evolution Pokemon are the hardest piece to find. We have so many basic search. We have 8 cards actually to find basic Pokemon. But then this falls into the category of we only have the 4 Ultra Balls to find our evolutions along with the evolutions. So these Jock come in handy in the early game. Especially after turn 1, we're supporting Carmine or researching, and ideally after turn 1 when we've researched our Carmine, every supporter from that point onwards is a utility supporter. So either we're Jocking to get our evolutions out, we're Bossing to bring up a threat, we're Ace-a-Rolling to keep our guys alive, or we're Ionoing to disrupt our opponent. So the idea is after turn 1, turn 2, Research and Carmine are kind of dead cards for the remainder of the game because we've seen so much of our deck. And we can't afford to play Squawk because we're going for a lone Manectric strategy. Now, we have 9 lightning energies. This might be a little bit too little. I might cut the Iono down to 1 and make this 10 energy just to ensure we keep putting energy in our discard. But 9 feels like a fine amount right now. I think this is a reasonable take. But this is my Mega Manectric EX deck list profile. If you guys enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think. Keep in mind, we're going for a lone Manectric strategy. I'm trying to make Manectric the star of the show. So it might not necessarily be the best deck, but it is an idea that I had, and I hope you guys can be as creative and enjoy the Pokemon TCG.